Hello, welcome back to the Sports Doyen. Here we are back again with the Yonex Swiss Open 2021 review. A really exciting tournament of badminton that started on the 2nd of March, and by the time we came to the weekend, it was a fantastic final in all categories, and we will talk about that in depth. Joining me, as usual, are Medha and Shri Hari. Medha, who is extremely happy for some reason, and Shri Hari, as usual, in his very subtle happiness, is enjoying this. Welcome to the both of you. First of all, we will start in the order of the women's singles, then we'll go to the men's singles, the women's doubles, the men's doubles, and the mixed doubles to end with. Coming to the casing point to begin with first, the final between Carolina Marin and PV Sindhu, a really one-sided affair to say the least, which Carolina Marin totally thumped PV Sindhu in the final. PV Sindhu was the winner of the World Championships back in 2019 at the same venue in Basel, but this time wasn't to be so lucky for her. And Carolina Marin has won her third title in 2021, so congratulations to her. Coming first to you, Medha, I can see the smile on your face, so we'll probably start with you first. What do you make of the match, and how was that? How was it? Probably quick performance by Carolina Marin.
Ah, I think Carolina Marin versus Sindhu was the match I was looking forward to the most, and I think every Indian fan would be looking forward to that the most. And when players like those clash, you normally expect it to be a very high class badminton neck to neck fight, brilliant encounter. But this one was completely anticlimactic because it was one sided where Marin just rained down smashes, broke into and tore down Sindhu's defense and just won the game in over half an hour at 21-12, 21-5. You just look away and look back and you see Marin has won a couple of points. So that was how it is. But I think Marin was brilliant yesterday. She's been in great form. But also, to Sindhu's credit, I think her performance this week has been extremely good. The fact that she even made it to the final itself is a really good performance from her. Physically, she seemed very fit, but I think where she lacked in the final was on the mental aspect. Probably a little bit of mental training and guidance from the coach will get her back on track.
Yeah, fair enough. And also, like Srihari, when you talk about the final, I remember a couple of instances from the very first game and the initial half of it, wherein Carolina Marin was almost forcing Sindhu to take a stance. While she was serving, she had those couple of instances where she forced the referee to have a chat with Sindhu in a way where she just dropped the shuttle to the other side, saying, I am ready, she is not. And maybe that is where the mental dominance started, and from there, things just didn't ever seem to have recovered for Sindhu. Did it?
Yeah, and you know what I would say is, when you face a player like Marin, you need to match up with her agility, her attack, as well as her mental strategy. So I think that's where Sindhu failed as a first step, and then the falling just started like that. So I think such when an attacking player like Marin just forcing you, like pushing you to the limit, you need to stand up to that and and her defense, and Sindhu is known for great defense, but that day she wasn't at her best, so that's the reason why she lost. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, a really disappointing final for many Indian fans because obviously they did expect Carolina Marin to be beaten by Sindhu. Even if not that to happen, maybe a competitive final, somewhere down the line of 21-18, 21-20, or something of 22-20 or
Yes.
something of that sort. But it wasn't the case, and unfortunately, as a narrative that was being drawn around the final after the final actually took place, we would probably also like to take a little bit of credit there because we were one of the first to predict that it would be a Marin Sindhu final, probably,
Yeah.
which did happen. The three of us did get that right. But then the entire narrative around the Rio 2016 final and then the World Championship finals and everything else, I think Marin just put everything aside and just focused on winning and did really well. So congratulations to her. And also Megha said very rightly, PV Sindhu has been brilliant in the last week or so. She played some really good badminton to reach where she did. The semi-final victory will be, something that she will cherish for a long time as well. So,
Definitely.
yeah, I mean, good things to look forward to, and at the end of the day, good preparation for All England. So, all the best to her in the All England tournament. Going to the next category, we'll talk about the men's singles in the final. It doesn't shock me anymore at all. I don't think it shocks anyone that Viktor Axelsen was the winner. He also won his third title this year, so a good run for him. 3 out of 4 doesn't seem very bad. And he won the final 21-16, 21-6 to Vitidsarn in the final, the Thai player. Srihari, what did you make of the final? Obviously, the second game was again dominated by Axelson. The first game had a little competition in itself, but at the end, he just cruise controlled himself into victory.
So when Axelson
Uh,
faced Kunavut, so it's like Axelson always had the advantage. So he won like 39 in last 39 game. He won all 38. So that's a pretty good start. And he had a shaky start. So after the first game, till the interval, Kunavut was in the driving seat. So then Axelson maybe did something in the interval, take some deep breaths, and he just drew the game to his favor. So that's what happened. After the first interval. So we saw Axelson at his best. So that already motivated him to drive him through the second game too, and that was pretty dominant. And it's 21-6. So when Axelson came back to full power, the Kunavult, he just he it just shattered him. So his mental game wasn't strong. So it really pulled him back. So that gave a just push to the Anderson to clinch the game.
Yeah, I mean, Axelson did really well, didn't he? I mean, you did talk about how he probably didn't go into an advantage going into the first game, but then did extremely well, which is very characteristic of Axelson, isn't it, Mida? He just has this ability to pull out victories and pull out that confidence from nowhere, which comes seemingly from nowhere, but we all know that it is there within Axelson, and he just keeps on winning, and it's a winning combination that he has with his own mind that just doesn't stop at all, does it?
Yeah, I mean, what I felt about the match is obviously Axelsen was the favorite to win, and he was in good form too. But it seemed like, at a certain point in the first half of the first game, when I was wondering what is going on, like it was going 1-all, 2-1, 2-all, like that until the mid game interval. But that's when things change, Probably Axelsen was just testing waters. He was seeing what he was assessing his opponent well, playing longer rallies, finding out weaknesses. I think that's what gave him that advantage later on, which helped him convert points in his favor, take the game. Because if you see in the second game, it was a complete dominance. Probably the Thai youngster like Kunlavut Vitidsarn, he probably ran out of steam. The rallies got shorter in the second game. Viktor Axelsen increased the pace. He increased the strength in his smash, which uh, he couldn't return, which the Thai couldn't return. So I think that's what made the difference. He knew what to do, and Viktor Axelsen just did just that. Tired off his opponent, attacked the weakness. So I think that's how he, eased past into a 21-6 victory in the second game.
Yeah, and again, as I say, congratulations once again to Viktor Axelsen for winning. I don't know how many tournaments and how many years will he keep going in the same vein, because he's an absolute monster when he comes on that
Let's see
badminton
in All England.
court. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's see in All
Momota is
England.
coming, so let's
Momota
see.
will be back,
Kenta
so let's
Momota
see
is
them
coming
in.
soon, so all the excitement will be back with Kenta Momota coming back. So we are definitely waiting for that. And commiserations for Vitidsarn. I think he did very well to reach the final. Did very well to have the initial advantage, but then when you come up against someone like Axelson, it has to be prolonged advantage, which he couldn't gain.
Exactly.
So that is a huge defeat for him, but I think he will take it in his stride as it comes. Coming to the women's doubles, it was the Stoeva sisters in the final. They played Tan and Thinaah in the final, and they lost to them 19-12 and 12-21, 19-21 and 12-21. A really interesting first game in the final. Srihari and Meda. I mean, any one of you would, if you would like to take the cue. How did this game go, and what do you make of the overall women's doubles in the competition?
I think this was a very interesting draw this year. I mean, nobody had probably expected either of these two pair to make it to the final. Then you had the first seeds from Thailand of Jongkolfan and Ravinda, and the second seeded Malaysians. You know, this was the most surprise finalists, I'd say. Although it was a possibility that Stephanie and Gabriela did have a chance being the third seeds, but them meeting the first seed in the top of the draw would, more likely sway in the favor of first seeds. So, talking about the final, I think it was amazing because these youngsters from Malaysia, Tina and Politan, were 20 and 23. I think they played brilliant. Their attack was so good. They completely penetrated the defense of the Stoeva sisters. They were in complete control of the rallies. They had no chance to play their game, the Stoeva sisters. There was no room for them to attack and gain points from them. Although in the first game, it was still close, and there was a point when Tina and Tan were almost trailing. More, the game was more in favor of the Bulgarian sisters, but somehow they really, it was more of a mental effort from them to make a comeback, get back into the lead, and take the game 21-19 and take control of the whole second game with their attack and, clinch the title. I think it has been a brilliant tournament for them because they're the first Malaysian doubles pair in over 2 years to win a Super 300 in the women's doubles category. So this is something really great that they've achieved for their country.
Yeah. Yeah, Srihari, would you like to add on that?
Yeah, I think the Stoevas are like more experienced when it compares to the Malaysian pair. So I think that was obviously an advantage, but they couldn't capitalize on it. On the second set, I could feel that they were like a bit fumbled with and they were like making mistake and they were like keep on attacking, attacking, attacking. So it was like they didn't have an answer to how to defend back. So I think that really made a difference in the game. So I think, and when they won, it was like I was shocked, but also I was happy because this is going to be a great boost for the young Malaysian pair. And that's it. Yeah, I think they should have won it, but it's another bad day in the office. So it's let's see next game.
Yeah, and expectations will be even higher now. The Stoiber sisters going into the
Exactly.
All
Yeah.
England. So after a good performance, and obviously the Malaysian pair who did win, and a huge congratulations to the youngsters. They will be hoping for a good All England as well. So fingers crossed. As we all know, All England being one of the traditionally highest honors in badminton, something that a lot of Indians have been hoping for a lot of years. We've had some legends of the game, especially from India, have done well in All England over the years, and they've got a lot of fame for that. It is a tournament that everybody certainly looks forward to, and we will be looking forward to that, and we will be coming for a preview video of that as well in the near future before tournament kicks off. So yeah, going to the next discussion, that is the men's doubles and the final, which was won by Sorensen and Rasmussen. I'm getting so used to spelling out these Scandinavian names now because of you guys, and thank you so much for that. It actually helps. And
It's
they did beat,
Danish.
Danish.
yeah, yeah, but they come in the same area, right? It's the whole Scandinavian region that includes the Denmark country. So yeah, fair enough. They did beat Lansfors and Seedul in the final. There was a point made up in the final, in the second set of the final, the second game rather. When it was 13-11, the game seemed that it was still in the balance. Both of them could probably still either Lamfors or Seedle could make it 1-1 and go into the third game. But then Sorensen and Rasmussen gave them no room for error at all, and they just won it from there. They collected all the points from 13-11 to win the final. So, what do you make of the final?
Uh, it was great, to be honest, the men's doubles final, despite it being the straight set win, because this is one again where these are these aren't the finalists you expected. Like, honestly, being an Indian fan, I did think our second seeded pair of Satvik and Chirag would definitely make it, but I think even in the semi-final against Chirag and Satvik, Kim Astrup and Anders Rasmussen were completely amazing. Their attack was really really great. And Satvik and Chirag are good at their defense and attack as well. And the way Kim and Anders relentlessly attacked with such power packed smashes with follow ups at the net, it was really good. I mean, they were all over the court. There was no room for any kind of uh, you know the shuttle goes a little bit over the net, and the Danish are there to kill. So it was that intense. It was, the way they played in the semi-finals. So I think they kept that up in the finals as well, which is why they could beat Mark and Marvin comfortably in straight sets. Because they had their attack so good, the game was nearly flawless. I mean, it was nearly flawless, with no opportunity for Mark and Marvin to really dominate them. It was close in the first, but they really, got back into them and figured out weakness and went for placement and attack.
Yeah, and Srihari, what are your views on the final? I mean, it was an interesting first game, but so was the second. But then at the end, the victors just took it away, didn't it?
Yes, I was in all favor of the Danish pair, but I knew that the Germans could put up a really good fight because they are an integral part of the whole German team, and they've been doing great. They've been playing great match over the past years. So I really believe that Marvin and Lamsfors could really put up a good fight, and they did. So when it comes to the Danish player, and Kim Astrup is an excellent front court player, and to support him there is Rasmussen, who is an excellent backcourt player. So they really proved them who's the boss. So it's like in some matches it's like who is having a better day and they wins the game. And I think this is another game to come under that category. And I really believe that the German players can really go a long way because they are so talented and they have a good attack, they have a good defense, and they are improving day by day. So I think this will be a great push to their future tournaments.
Definitely will be, and still a massive congratulations to Kim Astrup, Sorensen, and obviously Skaarup Rasmussen. I will take the full names, Meda. Don't worry about that. Just to make people familiar about it, I do realize that he's better known as Kim Astrup, but Sorensen is also a part of his name, so why not? Uh, I will try to rectify that on the next time. Coming to the final category of the Swiss Open 2021, that was a mixed doubles where Delrue and Gicquel won the finals against Christiansen and Boye. So yeah, that was another. I mean, again, another difficult name, but then a really interesting final. They won the final 21-19 and 21-19, so both really close games. Coming to you first, Meda, what did you make of it? Because a close final, I mean, something that we haven't seen in the other four, not necessarily, but this was extremely close, and they took it to the wire. And the two that had the better application at the end in terms of the mental and physical advantage ended up winning the game.
Yeah, I think this was one of the most closest matches in the finals. Interestingly, all five of them were straight sets. There was no three-setter games in the final.
Yeah,
So yeah, I this was quite an unpredictable match because it went really close, and there were phases where it did seem one-sided with considerable leads. But I think the French pair's efforts really paid off finally with in the Swiss Open, because if you see, they've been having really good performances of late. They made it to the World Tour finals, and they had even stunned a couple of upsets in the Asian leg. So it was really brilliant the way they were playing, but just not able to get that little bit of conversion into winning a title, which did happen this Sunday in the Swiss Open. So it was really a good day for them, I'd say, because they managed to beat Christiansen and Alexandra, because Alexandra and Matthias Christiansen have been playing really well this week, because they also pulled off a couple of upsets, like um, beating the first seeds Chan and Go. I think that was really amazing feat that they achieved, although I couldn't watch the match because of no telecast. Um, that was a match we missed. I think that would have been really great to watch, in a thrilling three-setter they beat them. And again, in the semi-finals, they beat Marcus and Lauren, who were third seeds. They're also a very great pair, English pair. So yeah, it was probably just that day who played better that they won, because otherwise I think both the pairs were brilliant that day.
yeah. And Srihari close final again. So, what did you make of it? And did it surprise you the way the whole mixed doubles draw went, or was it pretty, pretty obvious in your case?
No, it was surprising because we had like a Malaysian pair who was the Olympic runners up, then Lai Paging and Tan Kian. So they came to the final defeating those pairs, and there was Marcus Ellis, which was also defeated by the Danish pair. So I think it was quite surprising final. So but it was exciting as well, because the French pair and Danish pair, when they are not the supreme badminton countries, especially especially France.
Yeah.
So when it comes to a final of Super 300, it's going to be pretty exciting, because they have defeated few big names in badminton. So when it come to the match, I said the Thom Gicquel, he really did something great, because his smashes were pinpoint and very accurate. And Delphine, and she was a great front court player, and she did finish some points too, I think. And their defense, especially their defense, when the Danish player was constantly attacking, it was accurate and it was pinpoint. So yeah, that definitely gave an advantage. But the Danish pair, they are pretty experienced. So, and they are from a dominant badminton country. So I think when it comes to things like that, as Meda said, a better day, a better opponent. So I think that's the thing. Means that's what made a difference. Means the scores were like pretty close. So I think, yeah, it's like the one who had a better day takes the game. So that's it.
Yeah, and congratulations again to the winners in all categories, not just the mixed doubles. A really good Swiss Open 2021 that we did witness. A little bit of a gap that was created after the World Tour finals, and obviously, some excitement for badminton fans to go and watch badminton again. One last question that I really want to ask you guys, because telecast was a genuine issue, especially here in India. It was, extremely it was extremely tricky to catch the telecast in the initial rounds, and I hope that doesn't happen in all England. Shrihari, how did you catch the games? I mean, the initial game, at least, it was very difficult, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was difficult. I had to use some app to know the scores, and it was really disturbing that they didn't provide the telecast at first. After the quarter or semi-final, they started telecasting. So it's like, you know, it was a bit disturbing. So then finally it was fine because I want to watch every badminton because it's been so long. I didn't watch some great badminton, so it's like it was disturbing. Then it went well.
It did. And Meda, didn't we miss Gil Clark's voice on commentary, wasn't it? Like, that is the voice that defines badminton in so many
I
ways.
missed her a lot.
I, I mean, especially during the Marin Sindhu final, you expected her, didn't you?
I could imagine her speaking. What on earth is happening in this match? It's so one-sided. This is not what I expected.
Yeah.
I think her commentary missing from badminton it seems badminton as like incomplete. So it's yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean that's the credit probably that we could give her in our ways that badminton does seem
I found
incomplete.
myself
Yeah, with the
commenting on
commentary,
BWF's
yeah.
post, you know, where is the telecast? I miss Jill Clark. Please bring her back. I think she'll be back for All England though, and we'll have much better telecast
Yeah,
for All England.
I
But
think
yeah, I
yeah.
think
Momota
because
and Gil Clark
this
is
being
coming
a
for All England. So
but Taizoing
Yeah,
won't, unfortunately.
Taizuing won't.
uh,
That's a big unfortunate miss for all Taizuing
Until
fans.
until All England is over, this will be there on every badminton review and preview.
I know. As long as as long as Taizuing comes back, we'll still have this Taizuing conversation that she's missing, and we definitely did miss her in the women's singles draws, and hopefully she comes back soon. Talking about coming back, thank you to both Meda and Srihari for coming back for the review. A really interesting tournament that we watched over the last week, and obviously, definitely looking forward to having you guys for the All England preview, the tournament that everybody is looking forward to massively,
Yeah.
and it couldn't come sooner at all. So thank you to the both of you. Thank you to all the viewers who have tuned in to watch the Sports Joy and review of the Yonex Swiss Open. Please do stay tuned because we will be coming up with the Cricket Daily Live, which happens usually from Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. With the India versus England white ball series, is a lot extensive coverage over there. And yes, obviously, India ka tyohar IPL is coming back as well. So we will be tuned into that, and we can't wait to announce some exciting plans that we have for the IPL. So thank you once again, Meda and Srihari. You are the ones who make this badminton review complete for us.
A
It would be
pleasure.
like it would be like missing Jill Clark for us if you guys weren't there. So that is our little bit of Jill Clarkness that we have in the both of you. And do stay tuned to the Sports Doyen, and we will see you soon.